I found some hardwood scrap pieces that I have left over from a previous project. So I built this. Wooden serving plates with holiday-inspired shapes and engravings. And of course, I built multiples. Do you want one too? Follow me and lessons on fun. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Like most of my projects, the first step was to cut the lumber to size. This entailed just a few cuts to split some of the larger pieces in half. Make sure you wear proper PPE and tie back your hair if needed. To begin the project, I had to come up with different shapes for the different serving dishes I want to create. I took a piece of scrap wood and a pencil and drew on some ideas. I thought this piece of cherry would be perfect for a snowman dish. For the longer pieces of cherry that I had, I wanted to create more of a serving dish that features an engraving. I also found a few more pieces of walnut that I used for this project. Once I had drawn on the designs, I went up to my crafts room to bring the designs to life. First, I measured the pieces of lumber to enter the correct sizes into the program to create the designs and cut files. I'm using Vectric for my CNC machine files, however there are plenty of free programs out there that work just as good. Back as I purchased the program, there weren't as many options available for 3D relief shapes, and that's what I thought I was gonna get into much more than I actually did. So I really just purchased the program for that. Nowadays, there are other programs out there that are much cheaper or even for free that do just the same job. So all I'm saying is, while Vectric is a great software to have, you don't need it to create simple designs that I'm making here. For the inlay of the dish, I decided to go with a 7mm depth. I think that's enough to give it a bit of a bowl shape so food items you place on it just don't fall off. For the inside, I'm using a 1/2 inch round bit. For the V-carve, I'm using a 90° 1/4 inch bit. For the outside, I use the 1H end mill bit. All the bits used I will link in the description below. Once I had created all the files I needed, it was time to fire up the old CNC machine to start cutting. I don't even know how many years I had this machine, and it's definitely seen better days. I keep having issues with it, and it's overdue to replace the machine. I know I've been saying this for years now and still don't make it to replace it, but who knows, maybe this year will be the year. I mean, no guarantees. As for now, let's just enjoy the cut. Once the machine finished cutting all the shapes, I took some of the dishes upstairs in my crafts room to start with the laser engraving. For the designs, I used Vectric again, saved those as an SVG file and then sent them to Beam Studio. Beam Studio is a free program that I use for my engraving since it connects wirelessly with my laser engraver. I decided to go with different designs for all the different dishes I have. The progress of engraving only takes a few minutes each, and most of the times you're left with a bit of a burn mark around the design. This is very easily sanded off though. To avoid those burn marks, you can use masking tape, but for me it's just easier to sand it off. I will have to give the whole piece a sand anyways. To make more pieces in less time, I'm working simultaneously and run my CNC machine at the same time, so let's head back to check on it. Since the snowman has already this little carving on the side, I thought it would be too much to add another engraving, but you can easily add a snowman face and a carrot engraving if you like. As you can tell, I did not set a depth right of the cut, and a bit of the wood is still attached, but it's just a very thin layer and it will be an easy fix to cut the rest of the shape out and to remove the tabs. I used my Japanese skill set to do so. Form here is very important. Not only move your arm back and forth, but also put your whole body in it and rock it. Like this, you will get best results. Once I had the shape cut out, it was time to give it a sand. And you know what that means. Let's have some fun with it. Once the pieces were sanded smooth, I wanted to make sure the boards stay nice and smooth for a long time, so I sprayed them with water to make the grain raise. Once it was dry, I gave it one more quick sand before applying the finish. I really like the outcome of the snowman dish. Here you can catch another close-up of it before I applied the finish. For the finish, of course, I'm using MeikeMade Liquid Hydration Wood Oil. I applied a generous amount and then let it sit for about 24 hours to let the wood soak as much as it wants to. Then I return to wipe off any excess, just before applying the finished layer of Moose Magoose wood butter. I think it gives the most beautiful finish that's also food safe, which is important for those dishes because they can be used for food. And we are fertig! Another fun project finished for the holiday season. And I'm so in love. I like those shapes so much, I want to make more. What else could I do? A Santa Claus dish, reindeer shapes, angels, snowflakes, oh my god, so many different shapes. I might have to come up with another idea where to source my wood from because this will take more than wood scraps. Anyways, how do you like the outcome? Please like, comment and subscribe if you haven't done so. Most importantly, click the bell button to get notified of new videos. If you can, please join my Patreon, this helps me keep my YouTube channel going. I know that's a little early, but I want to say it. Frohe Weihnachten! Ho ho ho! Tschüss!